and more, and then you get this thing that looks like a snowflake. Circle maker says, oh, you don't think it's a Koch snowflake? Well, here, you're really stupid, so we're going to give you another one. We'll put a snowflake in it this time just so you can figure it out. People still don't get it. Now that is obviously caused by an army of hedgehogs running round and round and round. This perfectly rational scientific explanation. A bunch of drunk gentlemen coming back from the pub one night with long boards on their feet and a funny cap with a string, and they're walking round and round, tamping down the crop circle, having the greatest time of their lives, making absolutely geometrically precise formations in record time over one night. I don't think that's what happened. And this is the kind of stuff that they were doing 1,200 years ago, causing Agabard to prohibit the pagans from taking these things out for fertility rituals, all the crops from these circles. This is what they're doing now. It's the same technology. That's my favorite one yet. I've never seen one that makes me happier than that one. Look at the precision. There isn't a single part of this that's geometrically out of alignment. Nobody on the ground could have done that in the one night that it showed up in. It's just too complex. Well, there's a message in there, genetic changes in evolution. Look at this. This is chromosomes breaking from 1991. When chromosomes break, that means the cell is about to divide. That's what this is showing you. So there's some sort of evolution happening. You look in 1996, you see a very clear illustration of DNA. Do you see the double helix there? Can everybody see that? I also want you to pay attention to this shape right here. I want you to look at that shape, memorize that little part. We're going to get back to that in a minute. This is the same kind of sine wave you see here, but it's in a geometric pattern. That's 99. Now look at what happens less than a month later. Exactly the same formation, but now it's got even more strands. So it's saying something is going to be happening to DNA. That's a suggestion. That's one suggestion. There are others. Here's one that again is showing you DNA, but it's in a perfect circle, a perfect ring. You can obviously see the double helix and the little ladders connecting the two sides together. It's beautiful. But this is the one that really gets me off. You have the galaxy in the center, the Milky Way galaxy, and then you have these waves of DNA, and you have this pattern being flagged. Look at that. There's your double helix. Everybody see that? And this is being pumped out by the galaxy, but look at this. In the Hebrew mystical tradition, that's a special shape called a yod, which refers to divine light coming down into manifestation on the earth. And I don't have it in this particular slideshow, but if you look at the tower card in the tarot, there's all these yods around the tower that's being struck by lightning. That represents divine manifestation. So this is actually a further message saying that this DNA energy is a divine manifestation. The definitive 2012 formation is right here. This showed up last year. And what it does, or it might have even been, it was this year, wasn't it? Man, it hasn't been that long. Or no, I think it was last year. I'm sorry. I've been using this ever since it showed up. Now there's some interesting things going on here. We look at the sun, okay? Now look at the diameter of the sun. We know that all of these objects here represent the planets, and it's a specific planetary alignment. Well, it's actually December 21st. This man made a mistake, but it's close enough with 2 days off. You can't really make much of a difference in terms of any of these positions. But around December 21st, 2012, Red Colley's the guy that did this. Look at this. You see all the positions of the planets are the same as what's in the crop formation. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, they're all in the same positions. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Pluto is not in the same position. Now it could be that it would have broken the geometric harmony because if it would have had to have been right about here. Now I've had a little tip from, let's say, a source, and this is a human source. This is somebody here, not any extraterrestrial, and he told me to pay attention to this. He says that also is part of the message. Even though it looks like it's just an irregularity in the ground, why was it built so it's right there? Is there something that we might be encountering in the future that is right there in the solar system? That's what we're being told. That's all I can say on that, but I want you to think about that. Well, look at what happens here. The sun, after a couple days, is now widened to the orbit of Venus. Does this not suggest that something is going to happen to the solar system on guess what day? December 21st, 2012. They gave you the planetary alignment, and they give you what's going to happen. They show you the sun. They show you the sun changing in a very, 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 very dramatic way. This doesn't mean it's going to kill us. The other things show that it's an energetic change. And it would also appear that this indicates some sort of energetic influx, and that these indicate all the ET groups that are surrounding us at this time. These are code ciphers for different planetary civilizations that are coming in. So this gets us into interplanetary climate change. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this stuff because there's so much of this data. But this is the smoking gun. When anybody tells you, oh, there's nothing that's changed, and it's all the same old stuff, it's not true. It's not true. First of all, let's look at the activity of the sun. It's the highest it's ever been in 8,000 years. This is taken from Antarctic and Arctic ice core samples, which have been correlated with tree rings and all the other stuff they use. 11,000 years ago, the fall of Atlantis, look at how high it is. It's almost that high now. It's the highest it's been in 8,000 years. The sun is now giving off storms that used to take 2 or more hours to get here, showers of protons. Last year, well, that's 2005, I'm sorry. In 2005, one of them got here in 15 minutes. That means the energy in the solar system is conducting those particles faster, which means it's charging up. The energy is vibrating faster, the particles move faster. It's very simple. NASA is now warning of a space Katrina in guess what year? 2012. They're saying that the sun could have a massive radiation blast, just like it's possible that the crop circle was showing us here. Even Army studies, mainstream government studies, are saying that the sun could be driving all the climate change on the Earth. Obviously, we're seeing it's at an all-time 8,000-year high. The solar wind is slowing down. That's still been happening. It's very weak. And at the same time, the sun's bubble, the actual magnetic field of the sun, has gotten 25% smaller. The most likely explanation for that is that the outside is pushing in on it. There's something pushing in on it and making it smaller. That's what would most likely be causing this, which again suggests we're moving into an area in the galaxy where there is a higher energetic charge. We have been in touch with insider witnesses thanks to Project Camelot, and one of the things we've heard is that we do have this fleet of ships out there outside the solar system, and they have looked at this wave coming in. They know there's a wave, they know it's coming in, and they're studying it, and they see that it's coming into the solar system. So they are paying attention. But they're not going to tell us until the last minute, which is, just enough time for everybody to panic while they run away. But that's not what this is about. This is about genetic change, and it's about evolution. And it's not a doom and gloom thing. Even though I'm showing you stuff that you could think about in a fearful way, all of these messages, all these crop formations that they've built up 1,200 years of credibility to show you genetic evolution. They're not showing you doom and gloom. What would be the point? If it's an intelligent cosmos, why would it create life on this beautiful planet just to belch it off in a big solar flare? That's not what this is about. The galactic dust, there's more dust that came in between 2000 and 2001, 300% more than all the 1990s combined. That's another major study that was found. If you look at Mercury, Mercury's magnetosphere in 2008 was much more powerful than it was seen in the 70s with Mariner 10. And here's the actual mainstream publication where that came through. And now just recently, they go back a year later and they see even more stuff. They found magnetic tornadoes, magnetic twisters, and they said one of the biggest surprises was how strongly the dynamics of the planet's magnetic field solar wind interaction had changed from the first Mercury flyby in January 2008. So what this is telling you is that Mercury has changed dramatically in its magnetic field in 1 year. That's it. Mercury is going nuts. That's the first planet in the solar system. That's not the only planet that's doing this. Look at Venus. 2,500% increase in the green glow in less than 20 years, looking like this right here. That's totally amazing. On Mars, you have the appearance of clouds. You see the clouds here, that they weren't there. Mars didn't used to have clouds or ozone. They've only appeared in the last 30 years or so. It's another major change. Mainstream media has reported on global warming on Mars. Guess what? Nobody's driving SUVs on Mars. At least if they are, there's probably a lot less of them than there are on Earth, and they probably run on free energy, based on what our whistleblowers are telling us. But that's melting, something is melting the ice caps on Mars. Jupiter has this plasma torus that you couldn't see before 1974, and yet now it looks like this. As time goes